R. Lee Ermey, born Ronald Lee Ermey, on March 24, 1944, in Emporia, Kansas, grew up far from the world that would eventually make him famous. Raised in a rural environment near Kansas City, Ermey spent his early childhood immersed in farm life, an upbringing that instilled physical toughness, but also left him restless and rebellious. As a teenager, his family relocated to Toppenish, Washington, where his struggles with authority became more pronounced. By his own admission, Ermey was frequently in trouble with the law, pushing boundaries and testing limits in ways that reflected a young man searching for structure and purpose. His life reached a crossroads when he was given a choice between incarceration and military service. At just 17 years old, Ermey chose the United States Marine Corps, a decision that would redirect his unruly energy into discipline and service. That choice did not simply save him from jail, it forged the foundation of his identity, instilling values of accountability, resilience, and honor that would define both his career and his character for the rest of his life. Forged in the Marine Corps, Ermey enlisted in the United States Marine Corps in 1961, beginning a military career that would span more than a decade and shape his worldview permanently. The Marines provided the structure he lacked as a youth, demanding discipline while rewarding commitment and grit. Over the years, he rose through the ranks, earning respect for his leadership and toughness. In 1968, he served a tour in Vietnam, stationed at Chu Lai with Marine Wing Support Group 17 under the 3rd Marine Amphibious Force. The experience exposed him to the harsh realities of combat and deepened his respect for those who serve. These years were physically and emotionally demanding, but they also refined Ermey's commanding presence and uncompromising sense of responsibility. He was eventually promoted to Staff Sergeant, a rank reflecting both experience and authority. Injuries sustained during service ultimately led to a medical retirement in 1972. Recognition beyond active service. Although medically retired from the Marines, Ermey's connection to the Corps endured throughout his life. He remained an outspoken advocate for service members, often emphasizing respect for the sacrifices made by military families. In 2002, the Marine Corps formally recognized his lifelong commitment by awarding him an honorary promotion to Gunnery Sergeant bestowed by the Commandant of the Marine Corps. This rare honor symbolized not only his service record, but also his efforts to authentically represent Marines in popular culture. Ermey wore the title with pride, not as a celebrity distinction, but as a continuation of his service. He consistently credited the Corps with saving his life, giving him purpose, and teaching him the meaning of accountability. Even after transitioning into entertainment, he approached public appearances with the mindset of a Marine ambassador, speaking directly and honestly about duty, patriotism, and discipline. From military advisor to actor. Following his military retirement, Ermey sought education and enrolled in criminology studies at the University of Manila in the Philippines. It was there that an unexpected opportunity altered his future. A chance encounter with a film production crew introduced him to the world of cinema, where his first-hand military experience was immediately valued. He began working as a technical advisor on war films, ensuring accuracy in dialogue, behavior, and command structure. His authenticity stood out in an industry often criticized for exaggerated portrayals of military life. In 1979, he appeared in a small role in Francis Ford Coppola's Apocalypse Now while serving as a technical advisor. Though the role was minor, it introduced him to filmmaking and revealed his natural on-screen presence. What began as consulting gradually evolved into acting, not through ambition, but through recognition of his unique credibility. Full Metal Jacket and cultural impact. Ermey's defining moment arrived with Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket in 1987, a film that would forever alter his career and cinematic history. Initially hired only as a technical advisor, Ermey recorded an improvised audition tape demonstrating how a real Marine drill instructor spoke and behaved. Kubrick was so impressed that he cast Ermey as Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, a role that became legendary. Much of Ermey's dialogue was unscripted, drawn directly from his own experience. His performance was intense, commanding, and unsettlingly authentic, setting a new standard for realism in military films. The role earned him a Golden Globe nomination for Best Supporting Actor and cemented his status as a cultural icon. More importantly, it reshaped how authority figures were portrayed on screen, replacing caricature with credibility. A versatile and prolific career. Following Full Metal Jacket, Ermey enjoyed a prolific acting career spanning more than 6 decades and over 60 film roles. While often cast as authority figures, he demonstrated surprising range, appearing in films such as Mississippi Burning, Dead Man Walking, Saving Silverman, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. He also reached younger audiences as the voice of Sarge in the Toy Story franchise, showcasing humor and warmth beneath his famously gruff exterior. Whether in drama, comedy, or animation, Ermey brought sincerity to every role. He never treated acting lightly, believing that even fictional characters carried responsibility. Directors and co-stars often described him as disciplined, prepared, and deeply professional. His commanding presence was balanced by self-awareness and wit, allowing him to adapt across genres without losing authenticity. Rather than chasing stardom, Ermey focused on roles that aligned with his values: marriage, family, and private life. In 1975, Ermey married his wife, Neela, beginning a partnership that would last more than 4 decades. Their relationship was built on mutual respect, resilience, and shared values shaped by military life. Neela, originally from the Philippines, had met Ermey during his service overseas, and together they navigated the challenges of transition from military to civilian life. They raised 4 children, and despite Ermey's demanding career, family remained his highest priority. Those close to him often remarked that his off-screen demeanor contrasted sharply with his famous drill instructor persona. At home, he was described as caring, protective, and deeply devoted. He took pride in fatherhood and credited his family with keeping him grounded amid fame. Neela provided steady support behind the scenes, managing family life, while Ermey traveled extensively for work and advocacy. Their marriage endured the pressures of Hollywood because it was rooted in loyalty and shared purpose, reflecting values Ermey carried from the Marines into every aspect of his personal life: principles, integrity, and professional boundaries. Throughout his career, Ermey was known for holding firm personal standards, particularly regarding respect and professionalism. Shaped by military discipline, he valued humility, teamwork, and accountability in both life and work. While Hollywood can be an environment of competing egos, Ermey maintained clear boundaries and gravitated toward colleagues who shared his respect for craft and service. He was candid in interviews about his beliefs, emphasizing that integrity mattered more than popularity. Rather than engaging in public feuds, he focused on advocating for veterans and supporting meaningful projects. His philosophy was simple: respect was earned through actions, not reputation. Ermey did not seek conflict, but he did not compromise his principles to fit industry expectations. This approach earned him admiration from military communities and colleagues alike. His reputation was not built on controversy, but on consistency. Final years, passing and legacy. R. Lee Ermey passed away on April 15, 2018, at the age of 74 due to complications from pneumonia at a hospital in Santa Monica, California. His death prompted an outpouring of tributes from fans, actors, veterans, and military leaders. In January 2019, he was laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery with full military honors, a fitting tribute to a man whose life was defined by service. The ceremony included a rifle salute, the playing of taps, and the presentation of the American flag to his family. Ermey's legacy extends far beyond film. He is remembered as a Marine who brought authenticity to the screen, a public figure who advocated tirelessly for service members, and a family man who valued loyalty above all else. His performances remain iconic, but his greatest impact lies in the respect he showed for those who serve. In life and death, R. Lee Ermey stood as a symbol of discipline, honor, and unwavering commitment.